Okay, stop.
I got this too.
All right. Hello, everybody. Got the early guys here again. Great job. We'll get here right on time again. All right, so as you guys are coming in here, just be aware, just going to be me talking tonight. I just want to give everybody some ideas of things they can be doing to stay in game shape as we are quarantined here and you can't do much. So it will be a pretty short one, but I think will be beneficial for you guys to listen in. If you have a notebook or something handy, please have it out so we can you can retain all this information. Hang tight here while we wait for everybody else. For everybody coming in again, remember at the bottom there's a chat button. Please feel free to ask questions if they come up during the webinar.
And you don't have any weights.
I'm looking.
Welcome, everyone. We'll get started here in 4 minutes.
We're moving. No. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Welcome, everyone. We'll get going here in about 2 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for being on again. If you have any questions throughout, don't hesitate to ask them. And this will be a fairly short one, but just want everybody to stay in the loop and make sure we're communicating with everybody as best as we possibly can. So get started here in 2 minutes. All right, there we go. Right on time, 8 o'clock. Guys, thank you so much again for being on. I know a lot of you have been on all 3 nights in a row, and it's a little bit much, I think, to ask of you guys to be on here every single night, but I think it's necessary, and especially when we have the type of time that we have right now, quarantined or stuck at home like a lot of us are. I really appreciate you guys being on, but I know we got the right people in this organization that want this information and that want to be in the loop as much as possible. So without further ado, let's get it started. So I'm going to share my screen here. And all right, you should be able to see my screen here now. All right, so what I just want to talk about tonight is different ways that you guys can stay in game shape and stay locked in and stay ready to play throughout this quarantine, because I know a lot of you probably feel like you're not able to do enough. You're not able to you're not going to be ready to go whenever it is that we start playing again. Well, there's certain things that you can do and certain boxes to check off to make sure that if in 2 weeks from now and they say we're playing ball, you're ready to go and you haven't missed a beat, when there's going to be a lot of kids that are. So we need you guys being a step above the game. All right, I got to move this out of the way. All right, so staying in game shape during this quarantine. I got to figure out how to move my page here. All right, so there's pretty much 3 different facets to your game. There's your strength and conditioning. They're your baseball skills, which I know there's many, many, many different skills. And then there's the mental side of the game. All 3 of these facets, you need to be training. You need to be keeping in shape, if you will, throughout this quarantine. And there's so really what you're going to have to do is dedicate a specific amount of time every single day to each of these 3 things. And it only has to be 10, 15 minutes, no more than that. But it's incredibly important that these 3 things, these 3 facets are met, or when you step on that field, you're not going to be in the same shape you were when you were mid-season. Okay, so number 1, strength conditioning. Now, as I get going here, I said 10 or 15 minutes. It might even be shorter than that. But anyway, strength conditioning. Okay, so within strength and conditioning, we're counting that as your strength, mobility, explosive power, lateral quickness, core stability, Okay, your shoulder stability, all of these things count in strength and conditioning are incredibly important to being a good baseball player. So a couple of solutions we have here. Interpro. Now I know all of you don't have Interpro, that's why I have a little asterisk there. But for you Interpro guys, problem solved. Interpro, you do an Interpro app every single day, or Interpro workout every single day. It's built into the program for rest days. So you can literally do it every single day. And a day that you should have off, a day that you should be resting, it's going to incorporate mostly mobility stuff, maybe a little speed and agility stuff rather than actual workouts. Crossover symmetry. For you guys that have crossover symmetry, this needs to be a part of your daily routine. You're not outside throwing and pitching and going to practice every day right now. So if we don't do anything for your arm, we're going to be in trouble once the season starts. I read an article written by Alan Jaeger talking about one of the worst things for your arm is the constant start and stop and start and stop. Okay, well, we're stopped right now, but we need to keep your arm in shape. Crossover symmetry is going to help you do that. We're going to talk a little bit in a couple slides from now about throwing in general, but keep your arm in shape, Interpro workouts, okay? Now, for those of you that don't have Interpro or crossover symmetry, that you don't have a free pass now to just not do anything. Okay, there are plenty of different ways to do it, and I wanted to give you specifics here on something that you can do. Now, this is not a professionally written workout plan, but this is something that's going to kind of check off those boxes of explosive power, your leg strength, your core stability, your shoulder stability, and just going through this 3 sets. So when you see the 3x20, that means 3 sets of 20 reps of push-ups, 3 sets of 25 reps of body weight squats. Where it says 2A and 2B, those are going to go back like superset. So you go 1 set of body weight squats, 1 set of vertical jumps, back and forth until you have 3 done. And we have plank hold, lateral line jumps. All lateral line jump is put a line on the ground, jump back and forth as fast as you can, lateral with your feet together, not touching the line. Super simple and almost elementary, but if you don't have anything else that you can do, if you don't have equipment, you can't go to a gym, this is what you have to be doing, right? There's only one possible way to stay in shape like this, and that's to keep doing this type of stuff, okay? So if you don't have Interpro, you don't have crossover symmetry as well, we need to be doing this. And if you're not doing any type of workouts right now, this is a really good start, what I have right here. So super simple. It's going to take 20 minutes max, and not including the stretch. But it doesn't take long at all. Okay, so that's strength and conditioning. Skills. Obviously, everybody knows what the baseball skills are. There's obviously infield, fielding, pitching, hitting, outfield, throwing, bunting, base running, many, many more. Depending on what position you are, though, skills is one of those 3 facets of your game that you need to keep sharp as we are in a holding pattern here. Okay, and I say sharp and I keep saying to maintain, but in all reality, you could be improving upon these. You could be getting better at these if you're doing the right things at home and you're dedicating a specific amount of time to it. So I just have a couple little actionable things here for you guys. Infielders need 10 to 15 minutes of, I'd say, wall drills. So assuming you don't have a partner, you have a wall in your house somewhere. I'm looking at a wall right now with my wife's old Penn State track jersey hanging up. I can take that down. I could literally get a tennis ball, throw it here, and work on picks. Okay? Then I turn to my backhand. I'm on my knees, throw it off the wall, pick backhand picks, barehanded, anything. 10 to 15 minutes a day to keep those muscles fresh and sharp and improve those fundamental skills. Pitchers. Now, you need to be throwing, and we're going to talk about throwing in general here in a second, but you have to find a way to replicate what a game is going to be like. And we talked, if you guys were on the Interpro webinar on Tuesday night, we talked a lot about the mental game. And a saying that my college coaches said to us all the time was, when we were talking about the mental game, is your body doesn't know, or excuse me, your mind doesn't know that your body's not doing it. Okay? Which means that we need to visualize, and we can actually form some muscle memory and build confidence by pitchers going through your windup, visualizing what pitch you're throwing, making that pitch, getting those hitters out. Okay. Again, seems super elementary and basic, but like big leaguers do this kind of stuff. Now you're at home and we're kind of forced. That's our only option here, but that's going to benefit you in many, many, many ways. Okay. Visualize you having success, visualize your mechanics, work on your grips on the ball. Okay. You can improve many things without being able to go pitch in an actual game. Hopefully you guys can have access to at least a net or maybe a mound of some sort that we can actually throw. That would be best. But if not, this is a good secondary option. Hitters, T-work. Like, T-work is way super important all the time, but way better than nothing. All you need is one wiffle ball. That's it. One wiffle ball. And I put minimum of 30 swings a day. I think 30 is an okay number for you guys to kind of shoot for it, to say, to be able to keep your swing feeling good. Because I know when I was playing, if I took a day off, I felt like it. Like I could really feel it. If you're taking 30 swings a day, you're not going to feel that rustiness creeping in. If you take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, however long we're off here, you're in trouble when you start back up. Okay. This upcoming summer, for a lot of you guys, especially freshmen, sophomores, juniors, this is crucial for your recruitment to find that whatever that next step's going to be in your baseball career. This summer is going to be incredibly important, and this summer might be different than any other summer you've ever had or ever going to have, because we might not be playing, not playing, not practicing anything, and all of a sudden we're playing. And if you're sitting around not doing anything and you haven't been taking your, let's say, minimum of 30 swings a day, it's going to be very obvious. So these are kind of the bare minimum things. And if you don't have any other options, but continue to look at different ways to keep your training up. Now this just goes for everybody. All players, you need to keep your arms healthy and loose. And like I just talked about the article I read by Alan Jaeger, one of the worst things for a kid's arm is taking time off and then just starting and throwing again, then taking time off and then starting and throwing again. Keep your arm loose, keep it healthy. You don't need to push it like crazy, but you need to be able to go play a game. If we had to play tomorrow, you should be able to play without severe arm soreness because your arm's in shape. Okay, and then the mental game. And I didn't really write much about this. Interpro is obviously a huge help for this mental game. And just so everybody knows, I know everybody doesn't have Interpro, but the webinars that we're going to be doing on Tuesday nights, going over the Interpro stuff, that everybody is welcome. Everybody. So we're going to be having discussions about the courses that we're assigning our kids that have the app. But please, I encourage everybody to be on there just to keep bullet point number 2, building your understanding of the game. Build your understanding of yourself, really, as a baseball player and as a person, okay? So please, really, I would encourage everybody to be on that webinar as well. Okay. So here are the action steps. Interpro, obviously, I have listed here. Just a reminder for all you guys, this was the assignment. Each one of these is a course. You can do one a day and create your game. There's a typo. Oh well. Create your game section 1. All right, and then and I know all you players out there just cringed when you saw what I put at the bottom. Read. And I know your moms heard the word read and they looked at you and said, I told you so. You should have been reading. Okay. I didn't like to read when I was your age, but as I've gotten older, I've realized how important it is to keep filling your mind with great stuff. So I have listed a couple books that would be outstanding for you guys to see. All right. Sorry, I'm just reading the questions here. All right, so here are the books that I have for you guys. Well, all right, so here are 4 different options. 2 for baseball specifics, and 2 that are just in general awesome books about being successful, really, at different things. Okay, Sean Green, The Way of Baseball, an incredible book. Actually, when we were at dinner with Adam Rosales in Arizona, I mentioned this book to my cousin who was out there playing with us and said that it was an awesome book to read. I read this in college. It was outstanding. Really, really incredible just about Sean Green's journey through his career and how he continued to get better. Heads Up Baseball by Ken Ravizza. Ken Ravizza is one of the best minds in as far as mental sports psychology goes. We had to read this book in college as well. It was outstanding. Again, building your understanding, building your own set of things to fall back on. So those 2 books are outstanding baseball specific books. Now, these other 2 are books that I read recently, and I think if every single person in the entire world could read these books, we'd have a pretty even better place than we already do. Atomic Habits. It's about how the little things in your life and the little decisions that you're making every single day affect everything. Okay. Affect your future, affect your career, affect everything. Okay. I usually like to read books for 4 or 5 great quotes from the book. This one has 1 to 2 great quotes on every single page. And James Clear was a baseball guy. So he uses some baseball examples in there, but outstanding book. And the last one, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Jocko Willink, however you say his name. He was a Navy SEAL and just a bad dude. And when I say bad dude, I mean that in a good way. Like, he's the man. Unbelievable leader. And this book is completely about being a leader. And if you can learn how to be a leader, it doesn't matter where you are in life, whether you're playing baseball in the workforce, taking ownership of your life and your the things going on, super important. So those are 4 options. I'm going to send this slideshow out to everybody. So and I have I forgot the link to. I'll add the link to the last one, Extreme Ownership. So I actually want to call on somebody because he offered in the chat, Ben Pierce. So Ben, I might be surprising you here, but I got to find you real quick. And we're going to talk about throwing a little bit. There we go. Ben, can you talk? Can we hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, there you are. All right, so Ben had messaged me on here and just said, can we talk about throwing a little bit more? Ben, for those of you that don't know, Maryland State Director, pitched professionally for, I believe, 6 years and is pitching coach. And so, Ben, please share what you would like to share.
Yeah, not much. You talked a lot about just throwing. Remember, guys, during the season, we don't do as much throwing as we think. We throw a lot on the weekends. You guys in between tournaments, I'm not sure you're doing routine pen work and routine throwing. So you actually could benefit more today with this quarantine than you do throughout the season. Pitchers and infielders, outfielders, whatever, catchers should work on their footwork and their throwing specific to catching. But the pitchers, make sure you're throwing and varying what you do day to day. You can go out and play catch one day. You can go out and do long toss one day. You should have somewhat of a routine for your bullpens if possible. I know I take my son out and we throw probably 3 times a week, and we throw indoors probably 2 or 3 other times a week. So we're almost throwing every day. Obviously, if you're going to throw an extensive pen or you're going to throw a lot of pitches, you should back off a day. But even after a pen, you could still throw the next day. You don't have to shut it down. You shut it down from doing mound work. Long toss is important, but the one thing that you need to do is make sure you're throwing properly with a purpose to gain something. If you go out and throw randomly, and like a lot of kids do, without instruction or the fundamentals, you're gonna find that, oh yeah, I threw every day, and you're gonna come to a tournament and not be ready, and you will get sore arms. But we could actually use this as an extended spring training, a long time to prepare ourselves to even be better prepared for the summer than we would be for you older guys, that if you played high school and you threw once a week. A lot of you guys throw once a week. I know I'm a pitching coach in high school, and a lot of our pitchers hardly ever throw pens in between their outings. So that's all I got to say right there about throwing. But get your throwing in and continue your arm care.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Tyler's asked me a question here and asked if he hits an hour one day, should he take the next day off? This is personal preference for me. I would encourage you to swing almost every day. It doesn't have to be a ton. You don't have to kill yourself, but keep that muscle memory going. Take some swings every day. It can be just tee work every day, but just a little bit. And so last thing here, I already, of course, went over the time that I wanted to, but I just want to leave you guys with this. We got 2 guys here. Tony getting some squats in with his dog. Okay. Good stuff. And Cole here. This is the best one I've seen yet for our batting tee challenge. I encourage you guys to get me some videos here of your tees. I don't know if you guys could beat Cole, though. He has an adjustable height tee. Yeah, I mean, come on. That's some serious engineering there. Watch him. He's going to change the height of his tee. Now, I have to consult with my my board of representatives here to see if this contraption on the bottom is a household object. I don't know. We're going to have to see. But, guys, have some fun with this. Find some different ways to get some work in. That's really cool. I love seeing this stuff. So I will leave you guys with that. Thank you, everybody. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the commitment you guys have made to just be on here. So you'll be notified of what we got going on next week. But thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Please, God bless, and stay healthy and safe out there. Night, guys.